What's going on, guys? Jake here from H&M Reptiles, and today's kind of like a reptile room whole thing update, but I'm not gonna really go into depth of the animals, other than a few. There's been a lot of changes going on right now, and if you hear whining in the background, that's my puppy, and she's whining. She wants to come out. So as soon as I'm done this, she's gonna get to come out. Um, but just going through the room and showing, because there's been a lot of different stuff that's changed. In the last week. It's actually only been about this week that stuff's been changing a lot. So first, over here on the right hand side of the room, these two are storage bins. Then on this old dresser that I also use for storage, you can see in here we've got some supplies. I've got gloves down here for cleaning. Other stuff in there. On top of that is the Bearded Dragon 75-gallon aquarium. I've got their UVB lights. Up here I've got my thermostat for the room. So there's those guys. I'm trying not to make it such a long video. Over here in this corner I've got an Exoterra tank. It's standing up on its side. I didn't put it completely away yet because I'm going to a show this weekend, and I just want to make sure that if I get something big, I'm going to have something that I won't have to drag everything out at the last minute, so I'm just leaving this here for now. Got a bag of sandy chips down here. That's what I use for bedding in the rack. I've got a little work table, and there's a window so I get natural light in here. I don't have any lights on right now. There's a trash can underneath of there. On the bottom of this rack there are two holding bins. 1, 2, 3, 4 empty rows of the rack. And up here I can just highlight some animals, I guess. Pastel pied, possible head ghost male. Normal Burmese. I did a video on him and this guy, which is the Hypo Burmese. I'm not going to open his cage because once he comes out, he doesn't like to go back in. There's my mister. This water that's treated with I forget what the brand is called. It's Reptile water treatment. I put it in there and let it sit for a day. Spray bottle, radio for when I'm in here cleaning. Some extra cups. Those aren't even for the snakes, really. I'll show you guys her. My albino ball python female. She's getting huge. She's eating small rats. And here is, if you saw any of my other videos, I believe I showed them, but this is my first ever ball python clutch. It was a yellow belly male bred to a normal female. Well, I thought it was a yellow belly female, but it turned out she was a normal. But I ended up with 3 yellow bellies and 1 normal. You see, let me just show you guys them real quick. You see right here is yellow belly. Here's the normal guy right here. Here is another yellow belly. And there's the last yellow belly. So yeah, I can't complain for my first clutch. I didn't really care what I got. They could have all been normals and I would have been happy. But they're in this all this tub together until they hatch. They'll be a week old on Tuesday. They got that rock for them to help shed because they're all going in the shed now. A nice water bowl, but it's not too much water in there to where they would drown. But yeah, that was my first clutch, so that's pretty awesome. I guess now I'll show you the big newest thing, which are, you can see my reflection in the glass. These are 2 4 foot long, 2 foot deep, a foot high T8 animal plastics cages. And this one's full, and this one I bought the divider for it. And I also got locks. I didn't get their locks. Their locks come with, there's a hole drilled right here. I don't know how well you can see that. Well, you can see it even worse now. But there's a hole right here drilled in the material, and they send glass that has a hole and a built-in lock. But I didn't do that because these locks were cheaper and they do essentially the same exact thing. So right here, there's my female axanthic hognose. My male normal hognose is in there. My corn snakes are in that exoterra down at the bottom. Um, so in here, I just got these today and put them together, and cleaned up the room and changed it around a little bit. These cages are absolutely amazing. I love them so far. Let's see who's in here. This is, you can't see her too well. Go in here and pull her up a little bit. There she is. Here's my female normal reticulated python. Not dwarf or anything, she's a manland. So she's in this 2x2 section. She's got a water bowl and a hide box. I want to add some plants in there just to take up a little more space so she doesn't get scared or anything. On this side is my coral albino female red-tailed boa. Looks amazing. She's getting big. And she's got this big plastic hide in there and a nice sized water bowl. So hers looks a little smaller. So she's also a little bigger than the retic. Not length, but just girth and yeah, pretty much just girth. And as you can see on here, I keep the locks on the cage. Well, I keep the lock on the cage obviously, but I keep the keys in there. I'm not worried about anybody breaking and stealing my animals, but I also don't want to take the keys out and lose them one day. In this cage, I'm not going to open the other side because he's right there. But this is my male albino red-tailed boa. And he honestly could live in one of the 4-foot by 2-foot cages. Or not the 4x2, one of the 2x2 cages. But he is, the biggest snake I have right now, and he's no way, shape, or form going to get stressed about living in this sized cage. He's about 5 or 6 foot. He has a nice big water bowl. I was thinking about turning that bin right there. It doesn't have any holes on the right hand side. I was thinking about turning that into his water bowl, but I'm just going to keep it as this one. So yeah, I really like his tail. You can see it a little bit right there. But there he is. And then this bin right here is where the female boa was at, but she's not in there anymore, and it's just going to be used as a holding tub. So yeah, guys, this was really a big thing that I was kind of wanting to show off today. This and my first clutch. But these things are awesome. I love them. I have 2 Burmese along with the retic, so I'm gonna have to get more soon. Some more cages, because they'll be big enough at least to live in a 2x2 within a year at least. Probably a little less. But I don't know if you saw, but a lot of people, this is just a little side thing, I guess. A lot of people say that, retics are always mean and are always aggressive. This female right here is probably one of my most tame snakes that I have. She's awesome. She loves to come out. She's never hissed at me. I don't think retics are known for hissing that much. But even though she's still never hissed at me. Never tried to strike at me. Just an awesome snake overall. And I'll let her crawl in a cage so you can see how long she is. See if I can get it. There she goes. So she's to the back of the cage. That's 2 foot. So she's about 2.5 feet long. And this cage will be good for her for at least, she is a female, so she's going to get a little bit bigger. So this cage should be good for her. At least half of it for, I'd say, a few months. Probably a little longer than that. But yeah, these cages are awesome. I like the, I don't know why I locked this. I really like the vents they have in the back up there. You can see them a little bit. And they go on the other side too. Because I have it split. they go up there, and there's some vents over there. Super easy to put together too. They included instructions, and the first one took me about 30 minutes to put together, just because I would do the step and then read the instructions for the next thing, do the step, and and so on and so on, so on and so forth, I guess. But the second one, I knew I got the pattern down, so I was just it's the bottom piece and the sides, the back, the front, the top, and then you screw everything down to the bottom. And it was so much easier the second time around, and I got it done in about 15 minutes, glass and all. I had to get a little bit of help with the locks because I had them upside down. But other than that, these cages were so easy to put together. The people at Animal Plastics, the customer service was great. I messaged them, or they sent emails when you first order to confirm that you did order that, and then they send emails after that, like an update kind of email saying you're going to receive a tracking information the day that it ships. And this was a quick ship item. It's on their, it's what it's listed as on their website. So it takes 3 weeks to get out of the facility. It took exactly 3 weeks. I ordered it 3 weeks ago yesterday, and then I got my tracking on Thursday, and it was here today. So it didn't take 7 business days to get to me either after it shipped. It was here 9 o'clock this morning, so that was another plus. I did message them too, just to make sure everything was going on track, because I hadn't heard anything, and I just wanted to make sure everything was okay. And they responded within the next day, so that's another huge plus. So huge shout out to Animal Plastics for hooking me up with these cages. They're not very expensive either. I paid $400, I believe, for the cages. The cages were $150 each, and the insert for the divider, and then plus shipping. So definitely not bad. I'm definitely gonna have to get another one, maybe 2, because of the fact that I have the Burmese. So it's gonna be I'm gonna need space for 1 retic and 2 Burmese pythons. They're gonna get pretty big. But yeah, guys, this was my update. It's a little longer than I thought it would be, but this weekend I think me and Logan are going to another show. So I may or may not be picking up some more animals, depending on how my money looks like. But someone did just message me about selling a 10-foot golden child male retic, and I've been really into these big snakes lately. So that's kind of getting away at me, so I might just have to do that now that I can, because I could always put this boa and the retic in smaller tubs. They have no problem going back into another tub. And I could make this a one cage again. So, yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Sorry about if the camera quality was a little off. I'm filming on my phone, and there's glares on the screen, I know. But yeah, again, I guess I'll go out on these guys. This is H&M Reptiles. Well, it's Jake from H&M Reptiles, and we'll see you guys next time.